Thank you for joining me today to make two wonderful derby drinks for your party. The first one is the standard mint julep. And as a Kentucky native, I drink a Kentucky mint julep on Derby Day, but it's not my favorite drink. But everybody needs to have at least a sip as the Derby's running. However, if you want to make a drink that is really a hit, I make one called the Kentucky Rose, and I'm going to show you how to make that one as well. But first, we're going to make the standard drink, and that will be the mint julep. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 4 mint leaves, and we're going to put those mint leaves in the bottom of a cup. I've made some simple syrup, and the way that you make simple syrup is you take a cup of white granulated sugar, and you take a cup of water and you boil it on the stove, and once it comes to a boil, you boil for 3 minutes. Take it off and let it cool. And now you have your simple syrup. You can freeze that for up to 3 months. You can keep it in the refrigerator for about a week. So I would say make this ahead of time before your guests come. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put an ounce of simple syrup in there, and you can either use 2 tablespoons or you can measure out an ounce. So I'm going to put the simple syrup in there right over the mint leaves. Set this aside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to muddle, and that means mash and grind the mint leaves in the bottom with the simple syrup. That's what's going to give you your good mint flavor. I'm going to do that for about 30 seconds to make sure all the mint oils are being released to get the nice flavor for this drink. About 30 seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to add my 1.5 ounces, or actually about half of the 1.5 ounces of bourbon. I'm going to add a cup of crushed ice. And one of the reasons we use crushed ice and we use a nice silver julep cup is you're going to stir it up. Don't shake it, just stir it up. And make sure that that ice mixes with the simple syrup and also the bourbon. Once it's mixed, add a little more bourbon, the rest of your bourbon to the top of it, and mix it up. What happens to the glass, you can see, it gets nice and frosty, and that's the way that you want your mint julep to look. And then we're just going to take a sprig of mint, and you have your Kentucky Derby drink. So this is the standard drink. Let's set it up here. The second one is my favorite. And this is the Kentucky Rose. And you're going to need a glass with large cubes of ice or chunked ice. And you are also going to need, I don't know if you have ever tried using these. I have a piece left, and it's a blood orange. A blood orange has this nice red color to it. And it's what's going to give the drink its beautiful color. The blood orange is a little messy, so the step that I'm going to tell you to do, I do it before my guests come, and I go ahead and chill that juice. I take a blood orange, cut it in half, and then I use a lemon press, just like I would make lemonade with. And it comes out, and you have nice blood orange juice. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons for each drink. So you can measure that out depending on how many drinks you want to serve. And you are going to put it in a shaker. The other thing, you know, the Kentucky Derby has the nice red roses. I use rose syrup. I've already measured out my rose syrup, which is 1 tablespoon of rose syrup. And then I use lavender bitters. Lavender bitters, just about 2 or 3 shakes. And I go ahead and put my bourbon in there, and that is 1.5 ounces of bourbon. And then what I do is I add crushed ice to it, because we're going to mix this up, get it nice and cold, just a little bit of crushed ice. And once again, we are going to stir it, just stir it, to get all those flavors put together into this wonderful drink I know you're going to love. We are going to strain this over the ice. And you're going to see what a beautiful color this drink makes for your Run for the Roses day. And then we're just going to take a little bit of mint and put it in the top of the glass. And you've got my favorite drink, the Kentucky Rose. I hope you've enjoyed both of these drinks, and I hope your party is a success.